Alrighty, so we are Team Six, and we have Nolan, Sophia, Brian, and Adam, and myself. And for our competitive advantage consulting project, we decided to choose the company Pizza Hut. So there's a few background things we need to state first about Pizza Hut. So they started in Wichita, Kansas in 1958. The Carney brothers, Frank and Dan, are the first official co-owners of the business. They are known as the first national pizza chain in the United States due to their fact of them being cross-country at that time, and then opened its 1,000th restaurant in 1972. And then they merged with PepsiCo in 1977, which is their biggest corporate merge at that time. And their success is from the innovation of pizza throughout the years. They consist of stuffed crust, pan pizzas, home delivery, all you can eat pizza buffets, and then eventually online ordering. And now to present day, Pizza Hut, they have 16,000 restaurants in 10 countries. And then in May 2020, Pizza Hut closed up to 300 of their locations and operated by bankrupt franchisees. And then they started to shift into more delivery and carryout forms of ordering to adjust to the change of their consumers. And then Pizza Hut reported its highest average sales week for the delivery and carryout in the past 8 years during the month of May due to the coronavirus. And then I'm going to pass it on to Adam when he talks about the analysis of client problems.
All right, so in relation to analysis of client problems, Pizza Hut was focused on in-person dining. However, due to the rise of delivery and online ordering, the company has been struggling behind. Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, pizza makers who had their foot placed in digital assets has seen huge gains. This is the very reason why Domino's is at the top of the US pizza chains, and their company was an early investor in tech and delivery. And this allowed 3/4 of their sales to now coming from online orders. So the current pizza market is a fast delivery and to-go type options, which Pizza Hut has been slow to respond to. And 40 to 50% of Pizza Hut stores in the US are large casual sit-down style restaurants, a position that doesn't fare well with today's market landscape. Overall, Pizza Hut has 3 core issues to deal with. 1, which is reconciling its large restaurant footprint. 2, upgrading its online ordering and delivery technology. And 3, offering a more popular menu. Now I'll discuss the difference between the Domino's and Pizza Hut store systems. So discussing the difference between Domino's and Pizza Hut, as an ex-Domino's employee, I've seen that almost every Domino's store, including the one that I worked at, had very limited tables for customers to sit in, while the building itself is small due to the focus on pumping out and delivering pizzas. This is in relation to Domino's strategy, called force dressing, which is the practice of adding stores in existing markets to be closer proximity to customers. This strategy is genius because the system Domino's has goes hand in hand with today's current pizza market. There are also many differences between Domino's and Pizza Hut, which is, for one, like their app. And I'll pass it over to Sophia, who'll do a deep dive within that topic.
So in relation to the Pizza Hut app, they can improve on multiple things. One of them is to be able to condense the options on what people can buy in a better and more condensed way when they're placing their order. To order. Many competitors have apps just like theirs, but it's been seen that it's easier and better to order. So Pizza Hut should be able to implement their customers' platforms, and specifically Domino's has the option of stating where you live, such as an apartment, home, hotel, etc., which is something that Pizza Hut should do to make it easier on the delivery driver. And Domino's also has a GPS tracker, which Pizza Hut could include on their orders to make it more valuable for consumers to be aware of when their order is on the way to them. And I will pass it over to Noah on going over the SWOT analysis.
Pizza Hut has a very strong brand image, and that is one of their biggest strengths. Pizza Hut, when you see that image, everybody knows what it is, and they associate it with strong pizza. Pizza Hut is known for having very reasonable priced food like pizzas and pastas and chicken and whatever you need to get. So having a strong image coping with a good priced food equals well done products. Additionally, Pizza Hut has lots of locations that they have franchised out to people and that they use as their franchise or as their Pizza Hut, so people can buy from them. Weaknesses of Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's menu is a little bit complex. We think that if they were to trim out some of the fluff and make it look a little bit better, that they would overall improve in their cost efficiencies and improve in sales. Pizza Hut hasn't embraced the technological advances that have come with the times like their competitors have, like adding a GPS transmitter in their deliveries or contactless delivery all the time or better menus. We think adding some of these things will help them grow in the future. And additionally, we think their footprint with their stores is too big for the time. Many of their stores are very large sit-down restaurants, and that's not what the customers are looking for at the current moment. They want stores to be smaller and just pump out product. So we believe Pizza Hut has a few different opportunities that they could do in order to help grow their business. One would be partnering with different companies to help grow their presence within the customers. One way they think they could do this is by increasing their marketing awareness on their social media to increase customer awareness when it comes to youth and younger people, since their business has been around for a long time. Many people know about it, but we think having a stronger influence in the social media aspect will help them grow even more. Additionally, more opportunities for contactless deliveries we think will improve their overall sales, because now that we live in a pandemic, people want their pizzas to be not touched as much as that were in the past. Then finally, we feel like there's a couple threats that Pizza Hut faces. Competitors such as like Domino's and small mom and pop shops like Mod Pizza are taking customers away from Pizza Hut. More health conscious people like that want salads and stuff aren't buying as many pizzas, and therefore they're losing on those people's money. And then additionally, we are seeing rises in prices to produce the food, like bread, cheese, and toppings are becoming more expensive, and thus Pizza Hut is losing on their potential margin of revenue. Now I'll pass it to Brian for the Viro model.
Okay, so now we're going to be looking at Pizza Hut through the VRIO model, which is, value, rarity, imitability, and organizationally. Starting with the value model or the value section, the strong brand had a sit-down experience, which became part of the brand and was able to attract customers there. This was especially true in the early 1970s and when Pizza Hut was starting out. This picture here is actually one of the 19,000 locations that Pizza Hut has. And this is actually in Hong Kong. And it just kind of shows, kind of how over the top their dining in experience really was. And this also obviously contributed to higher costs as well. Now moving on to rarity, the sit down experience was able to capture a greater market share early on, because as opposed to the bigger competitors they had, which was Domino's and Little Caesars, they didn't have this dine-in experience. So this was kind of attractive to consumers early on. However, there was a change in the consumer demand, and Pizza Hut was very slow to react to this, which was discussed earlier. Technologically, Pizza Hut was very slow to, kind of capture this market share of the cell phones and app usage. Moving on to imitability, they have a massive footprint. This is their 19,000 locations, and kind of the concept from class was imperfectly imitable. Pizza Hut is, so big and so many locations that it's just too hard and too costly for, Domino's or Little Caesars to kind of compete in that regard. Organizationally, we talked about the merger with PepsiCo, but they also did merge with Beyond Meat, and that's kind of where they're going now in the future. This was recently, I think it was 2020 that this happened, and this is kind of trying to change the model and realigning with their other competitors in terms of the more of a to-go model. Okay, next Sophia's going to be talking about the proposals for the client.
So I believe that Pizza Hut should be more focused on their competitive advantage, which is pizza itself. Right now, the different types of food is overwhelming. specifically the pasta that they sell isn't as valuable to customers. So by eliminating that option as a whole, the workers who are making the pizza can focus more on the better quality of the pizza, which is what most consumers are purchasing. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, the app improvements with better technology and easier and quicker ordering will definitely help their sales, and creating their competitive advantage and continuing to use their huge brand name and image will be better, and just completely push that all the way through. So thank you for listening.